this is the official beginning of probably the most famous part of the Venice Beach Boardwalk. This is where you start to see the vendors. This is where you see the music. This is where it starts to get really busy. This is where it also starts to smell like marijuana, because marijuana is now legal in California. Technically not legal to smoke in public, but that doesn't really stop most people. I just always love the look of this place. This is the ocean front kitchen, and this just looks like something out of a carnival, right? Like a fair or something like that. I love their signs, love their pictures. What you can get here that you don't get at a carnival, you can get poke, right? So Hawaiian style raw fish. You can get chicken teriyaki. You can get hot buffalo wings. You can get crispy tacos. You can get boba milk tea. But boy, that milk tea is not cheap. It's going to cost you $6.99. Now, with any good fair food place, you'll want fried things. So right next door, they've got the funnel cake. They got the fried Oreos. They've got the fried Twinkies. Fried Twinkies. Do I have any English majors with me? Is that the way you spell Twinkies? Not so sure on that one. Pizza slices, all of your just great American food. But here are the Green Doctors. If you want to get some CBD or things like that, that's there. Amy says the pink building looks like it should be in Mexico or the Caribbean. It does. It looks like it should be something in Cabo San Lucas, I think. A lot of these side streets, they put up, big signs or murals. Here is an advertisement to call all Californians to vote no on the recall election. If you haven't followed this, there's currently a recall in California to recall Gavin Newsom, the governor. It's an entirely mail-out election, so everybody's been mailed ballots, and the date to send them in is Tuesday. So this is not a political channel, but so we won't really talk about what side of the issue any of us fall on, because we wouldn't end here. Great t-shirts. You can get some t-shirts. I won't read these out because I think I might be demonetized on this video if I did that. YouTube would be like, this is maybe not family friendly, but if you want to pick up some work inappropriate t-shirts, this is the place. A lot of these, I think these are like pickleball courts. They're like small tennis courts that you play with paddles. I think one of the things tourists often forget to bring with them are sunglasses. So here you can pick up rows and rows of sunglasses, some art to bring back, cold drinks, bracelets, pretty cheap bracelets. Now you'll see people skateboarding and roller skating on this boardwalk section itself, but as we've talked about, not so much. Here we go at, I don't even know what this place is called, but if you're looking for a water pipe, bong, those sorts of things, you will find a whole set of stuff here. Points Traveler says, would you prefer Venice over Santa Monica? It depends for what, but if you asked where I want to live, I would definitely prefer to live in Santa Monica over Venice. Now, if you're in the thick of the boardwalk and you're looking for some place to eat, I like this place called The Window, because a lot of these places are, cheap touristy places that you sort of wonder how clean they are. Here they wear white. You can get cheeseburgers, ice cream, online order pickup. So this is a nice place that keeps cleanliness. This is the original second Muscle Beach. This is Muscle Beach as it is in Venice Beach. So this is where Arnold Schwarzenegger famously worked out here outside. Right now it's closed due to COVID. You can see they're remodeling it, and they've got a lot of actually new equipment out here than they had before, because they're refurbishing the whole thing. But when that's reopened, then if you're a member of the gym, you can have like a weekly pass, or not, you can do daily passes to work out here. David D says I should say hi to the German in Venice. David D, if I see him, I will say hi to him. World famous Two Hands corn dog is now in Venice. I guess that must be a really big corn dog. No, this is a Korean corn dog place. This is from Seoul, so you can get corn dogs, spicy corn dogs. You can get potato dogs with corn on them, crispy rice dogs. You can get corn dogs with bean powder, and they kind of show you a little bit what some of those look like right here. I've had these things in Korea, and I think they're a little bit of an acquired taste. They're interesting for sure, but this is something that's been opening all over Southern California, more of these Korean corn dog, hot dog on a stick places. For my money, I still prefer the corn dogs at Disneyland. Those are my favorites. Points Traveler says, can you drink alcohol on the boardwalk? You may not drink alcohol on the boardwalk. In California, you may not drink alcohol in generally public places. So it means like no open alcoholic beverages on sidewalks. You know, of course, what people do to get around that is they put their beer in a paper bag or something, and, you know, makes them think they're being very stealthy. Amy says, no thanks to corn dog. At Disneyland, they're pretty good. I'll pass on the Korean dog right now. Jay says, I prefer the Santa Monica side. This side is too sketchy. That's probably a good description for it. By the way, the thumbnail picture, if you wonder where I took that, I took it right here at this gift shop that says Venice. Claire says, can you hire bikes, and roughly how much does it cost? Yes, there are a ton of bike rental shops. As I walk by one, I'll focus a bit more on the price. It's been a while since I've done that. Here's another kind of like fair food place. Hot dogs, corn dogs, pizza, ice cream. Here's the park and recreations truck in the appropriate yellow color. Martin says, this is a good place to people watch. This is the best place in the Los Angeles area to people watch. Yes, if you like to just sit around and watch people go by, this is the place to do it. Chug-a-Lug has joined in and says, hi, internet family. Hi, Chug-a-Lug. Thanks for joining today. Hey, if you are enjoying this live stream, there's 67 people on right now. I would really appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up button, because every like on this video lets the YouTube algorithm know that you like it, so that YouTube can share it with more people. I would really appreciate it if you do that. And every like of this video goes to provide premium sticks of bamboo for the Yellow Productions crew pandas. They are hungry. Okay, so over here on the right of the boardwalk, this is the Hotel Erwin. It's probably one of the most popular hotels in the center of the boardwalk. This is kind of cool. This guy who's selling these sunglasses, he's got some high pressure air to clean them, because these things get really dusty with sand, so they have to do that all the time. Here's to let you know a sign. There's a real deal cannabis dispensary down there. This is a fruit stand, so you could get a small thing of watermelons or mango flowers. Here's some electric bikes. I don't see any signs about how much they cost to rent. Now, if there's roughly a center of the Venice Beach Boardwalk, it is right here. There's this big grassy area. There's some public art. There's the basketball courts. There's some swings. There's some children's playgrounds. There's a skate rink over there. And I think the German in Venice store is one of these, but I'm not exactly sure which one it is with the doors rolled up. I know with the doors rolled down, it's one that says, I heart Venice. Roy says, how's Venice Beach nowadays? Hello all. Well, that's what we're doing today. It's been a while since I've been here, and it definitely looks a lot better than the last time I was here, for sure. Last time I was here was about 8 months ago, and there were definitely lots of unhoused. It is a lot better right now. The question, what's the German in Venice? He has a YouTube channel all about Venice Beach. He is a German guy who lives in Venice, and he owns one of these stalls here. So that's the German in Venice. Popular place to people to do street performing. Looks like we've got some people doing a little bit of a dance over here. Wu Tai says, I ran over a guy in a scooter in Long Beach. Like, you were riding a scooter and you ran over him, or you were driving and you ran over him because he was on a scooter? Which one? This one's a little interesting here, this stall, because it's actually like a little kettle corn truck is actually in the stall. This looks like the red bikini stall right here. We can see that Hotel Erwin popping in the back. Wu-Tai says, I want to point out he was not hurt. Thank you for that. All right, I'm going to continue down the rest of the boardwalk, but I'm going to take a slight detour so that we can see the Venice Beach sign. This place rents a lot of e-bikes and e-scooters. There was a question of how much bikes cost, and you can see here if you want to rent just a regular beach cruiser, it is $10 an hour, 25 for 3 hours, or $30 for all day from this particular stand. Obviously, every stand's got their unique prices. So related to that Venice of America that I talked about, here's one of the original buildings of the Venice of America. And when we say that it doesn't really look much like Italy, this building actually looks a lot like Italy. And so as you walk around here, you can see those. There was a question about, is it safe in the evenings? Yeah, I don't like it here in the evenings, really. I'm going to put it that way. The boardwalk, once the stores close, really pretty rough. Santa Monica, on the other hand, I think is pretty decent in the evenings, but I would just stay here in the day. There was a comment that I should be safe, the boardwalk is rough. Actually, now that the tourists are returning and they've kind of cleared the unhoused off the boardwalk, I think things actually feel a lot better now than the last time I was here. See, a lot of these places still have outdoor seating, which is nice. Kathy, joining us from Australia, says she just woke up. Good morning, Kathy, down under in Australia. 7 a.m. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Here we got someone we're walking at who looks like they spend a lot of time at that Muscle Beach. This guy is ripped for sure. All right, Mike says, what would be one of the better beaches to visit in LA with a family? Santa Monica's good. Manhattan Beach is pretty good. I would probably say Manhattan Beach is the most family-friendly of the beaches in Los Angeles. If you want to come down to Orange County, which is where Disneyland is located, my favorite beach in Orange County is Laguna Beach, followed by Newport Beach. Laguna Beach is super beautiful, super family-friendly. Newport Beach, same thing. You don't have to worry about anything in either of those places. All right, we are here at the intersection of Pacific and Windward Avenue. And I'm going to get on this corner so we can see a little bit more. We'll go ahead and look back this way. We can see on that classic building I was showing you, there's a really interesting mural on it. Signs that say, respect our ocean. And as I pan up, this is the location of the classic Venice Beach sign that runs between these two buildings. So, like the classic picture of Venice is to take something of this sign, usually from about the middle of the street. This street has a scramble crossing, so you can get it. We'll kind of walk out in the middle of the street for a second, and then we're going to turn back again. But there's also some interesting stories here. This begins Abbot Kinney Boulevard, which is the intersection of all the high-end stuff there. And here we go. Here's your shot of the Venice Beach sign as I stand in the middle of the street while it counts down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, on the corner here, we got a place called Mango Me Crazy Island Grill. That sounds pretty good. I like mangoes. What kind of island grill is this? What kind of island is this? Let's see, what do we got? We got like pancakes. We got burritos. I have no idea what island that stuff is from. We're talking about unhoused. So they've moved off the boardwalk and they've moved to other places of Venice. You can see right here on my right. Kathy says, going to have pancakes for breakfast soon. I hope you enjoy your pancakes, Kathy. Any particular type of pancakes that you like, or just pancakes in general? Wu-Tai says, would it be better to live in Huntington or Laguna? Laguna traffic can be awful. Laguna traffic is awful. You're right. I would say, it depends really where you work. Huntington Beach, certainly the traffic isn't as bad, but it can be a long way from the beach to the freeway in Huntington Beach, too. I prefer the vibe in Laguna Beach, so I would pick Laguna Beach. All right. And, parking, I mentioned, is such a premium here in Venice Beach that this parking lot, to get more parking, has done sort of the Tokyo thing of like actually lifting up cars so they can get like double the parking spots. That's when you know they make a lot of money on their parking. This is that classic Venice, Italy building with the arches. And what's in this building now, it is now the Same Sun Backpacker Hostel. All right. So we're going back to the boardwalk this way. We can see this stall. In addition to renting bicycles, rents wetsuits. This is like, you can rent anything here. You can rent surfboards. So you can see here some of the prices for bikes with trailers, seats, 3 wheels, skates, blades, surf lessons, about anything you'd want to do in Venice, you can do from that little stall. Wu Tai says, what's the general vibe on the recall? Locals always know who will win before everyone else. Yeah, I think at least if the governor is recalled, then I think the general front runner right now is Larry Elder. He's a talk show host, and so he's out in front of all the people that are currently running. We got someone here who's doing massages, $5. That's a pretty good deal. Here you can rent some more electric bikes. Basti says, can I look at the blue building on the right? Is East Berlin's Döner still there? Obviously you mean that building. I will check that out as I get up there. So here's all the street vendors on the left. When I was here 6 months ago, there were like none of them. So the fact that a lot of them are back, I think, is pretty cool. This lady's a fixture here. She will write your name on a grain of rice. And you can take a picture in the Venice Beach sign right there. A lot of people that sell art, because that's what a lot of people come for down here. Amy said it said foot massage. Yes, foot massage. That's right. Very, very popular to get a foot massage. You know, maybe after my live stream, I'll need to get a foot massage. All right, so this is also another good place to eat in Venice. So we'll take a look at the stalls that are in here. Points Traveler says, does this boardwalk go all the way to Santa Monica? Yes, you can walk it all the way to Santa Monica Pier. Here we have Tikka Taco, which is like an Indian taco spot. They've got vegan tacos, fish tacos, spinach tacos, street corn. There was a question of if the Döner place is still here, and yes, this is the top Döner factory where you can get Europe's top street food, the Döner, for $13. There's a hot spring chicken place right here. Like hot Nashville style chicken is all the rage in Southern California right now. What's chicken sandwich cost you here? Chicken sandwich and loaded fries, $16.50. And then the last stall here, Big Daddy's Pizza. I have to back up and look at this one a little bit closer. Okay, let's see. So they've got pizza, but they've also got banh mi. So you can get Italian pizza or you can get Vietnamese sandwiches. What are Vietnamese sandwiches? Vietnamese sandwiches look kind of like this. They're usually on a French roll and have some Vietnamese style meats in them. Interesting. I'm going to turn back around, not too quickly, but just to look at that Venice, Italy building again from this side. You can see it's got some neat street murals on it of blue. And then, again, where did the unhoused go? They are now down there and not on the boardwalk, but I don't think they've all been moved out of Venice completely. Now, many of them were put up in hotels or other accommodations, but I think some of them have just shifted off the boardwalk, which, you know, it's the perennial problem about how do we get people housing, etc., etc. Geoman said, I thought about live streaming in Santa Barbara soon. Right, well, definitely, Geoman, do it. And then on this side of this kind of food thing, we've got soft serve ice cream, cinnamon cones, milkshakes. This is funny. I think maybe they're shooting a music video or something. I'm not sure, but they've got a camera on that little thing that they're driving by. Here's another healing CBD product store with the name La La Land Venice. Every good seaside town in California has a Zoltar. Venice Beach is no exception. You can have Zoltar read your fortune. Here's, Kids World. You know, the traveling princess's favorite YouTube videos are Cocomelon. I could pick her up a yellow Cocomelon shirt. That shirt probably has her name right on it. This is the phone stop. Get your chargers, get your customized phone cases. You probably can't tell because of this microphone, but the music here is actually quite loud coming out of this souvenir store. This sidewalk cafe and bar, one of the most popular places in Venice to have a seaside beverage, meal, burger, always busy. And kind of a neat place just to people watch too. If you want to people watch and eat, this is the place to do it. Oh, this is cool. There's a guy who comes out here. I'm going this way. Hey, it's all good. No, I came to take a look at the piano. Thank you. All right, so this person brings this piano out here to the boardwalk every day and plays it. These guys basically are trying to sell their CDs, rap CDs, reggae CDs. That guy said, "What did you come to videotape us?" In case you couldn't hear him. We've got another fruit vendor down here, fruit cups. And so this is where the boardwalk begins to become less busy. Wutai says, "I was in Jamaica and they kept trying to sell me CDs." That's indeed what they have in their hand. So, sorry, I didn't pick one up. If you wanted one, I don't know what the music on there is actually going to be. But these sand dunes over here, these were full of the people that were living there. So that's they are gone as well. Ben and Jerry's, last time I was here, was closed. So it's nice to see Ben and Jerry's reopen again with the nice cow that you can take a selfie with. Here you can customize your hats, get a custom hat. Points Traveler asked, "Are the people aggressive at Venice if they think you're filming them?" People that have mental problems sometimes can be, but I will say unrelated to that. Some of the vendors don't like you to videotape their art because they want you to pay for it. They think it's losing the value. We see the LAPD keeping the peace out here, which is good. On the summer weekends, they'll be out here and, forcing horses and things like that just to help keep the peace. But yeah, again, last time I was here, none of these vendors were here. Well, notice it's not full. If this was pre-pandemic, every one of these stalls would have some other vendor in it. And you can see that there's markings on the boardwalk for where you can set up as different things. Like here, this is where somebody would be. This is where these people are. You can see there's another one that's empty. So you can see it's definitely not back to complete normal, as in the number of people that want to sell out here.
Look at the Boardwalk.
That's funny, yeah. So this guy was telling me I should be looking where I'm going, but of course the funny part, he said, "Hey Spielberg, you should be looking where you're going, but of course you're not supposed to ride bikes here. You're supposed to ride it over there." That's the funny part about that. All right, we're selling toe rings over here, and this little apartment has these neat, I don't know, what are these, donkeys, horses that are dancing? Something like that. And then this apartment building has a cool, looks like a guy is graffitiing Venice that's on it, but that's actually just what the picture is. Kathy says, "Does it cost to have a stall?" It does not. You basically just come down here, first come, first serve. If the spot's open, you can take the spot. eBay Hunter says, "Walk into a bong store." Less family friendly. So, but thank you for the request. Amy says, "Is anywhere completely back to normal since the pandemic?" No, probably not. Probably nowhere is completely back to normal. So that's a good point. The chicken Marcel said the cops can ride their bike, though. Yes, the cops can probably do whatever they want. So the cops can ride their bike down here, ride their horses down here, drive their cars down here. Somebody said hey, so maybe he knows me from the channel, I have to assume. Or he's just a friendly guy and likes to wave at cameras. This store is called Sneakers and Stuff. It says they're in Stockholm, London, Berlin, New York, Los Angeles. I kind of wonder about these stores. Just sell a few shoes and things like that. Clearly one of these, boutiques. And I bet their shoes are not cheap. Oh, we've got some people playing electric guitar over here on the left. And on the right, this used to be home to the Venice Beach, what's the word I'm looking for? Like freak show, like a Coney Island freak show in here. Unfortunately, that's another thing the pandemic has killed. But there's a Starbucks here on the right. No, thank you, man. Yeah, so Starbucks, you can get your coffee fix. This is fairly new on the boardwalk. And yes, police can ride their bike, drive down here. They're keeping the peace. They need to. By the way, I know many of you have been here for a while, but if anybody's new to the live stream and hasn't hit that like button, please do, because every like on this video goes to help feed the Yellow Productions crew, the very hungry pandas. They are hungry, and it tells YouTube that you enjoy this video so YouTube can share it with others. So please hit that thumbs up if you haven't yet. And Amy says, Vegas is not the same. Will it ever be the same? I guess no place will ever be the same, right? Like, we always want things to be the same and go back to the way they were. And, everything was better back in the day, but I mean, I'm sure things will improve at some point. I don't think this is how the world's going to be all the time. There's a famous Kobe Bryant mural right here to wish Kobe to rest in peace. Kobe, member of the Lakers, played here in LA, lived in Irvine, California, down in Orange County. Now, we've talked about parking. I probably haven't talked about restrooms all that much, but boy, there's public restrooms here, but they leave something to be desired. So, I don't know, bring a cup or put a cork in it or something, or eat at one of the sit-down restaurants that have restrooms, because those are pretty sketchy. Kathy asked if Kobe lived next to us. He lived in a really fancy gated community, so no, not quite next to us. And again, comparing this to the last time I was here, these dunes on the left, this is where the hundreds of people were living. So you can see there's still some that hang around in some of these like awning areas, but they haven't set up campsites like they've been there forever and a day. I like this spot right here. This is a great spot to take selfies. There's an ice cream place back here called the Pink Elephant Ice Cream Bar. As with their name, they have a pink elephant in front of it you can take pictures with. They've got a mural that looks like the Hollywood Hills, except it says Venice Beach. And then this gift shop has a giant bear. Grizzly bear? A California bear? The bear on the California flag. I have to assume that that's why they have a bear. Steven says, hi, Chris, from the UK. The challenge with this mobile app with chat is they just kind of like come and go, and sometimes they're hard to see the chat messages. Stephen says, hi, Chris from the UK. Over here, we only hear bad stories about Venice. Is it really that bad? It's a lot better now, for sure. And I think you can come to Venice in the daytime and have a good time, stay on the boardwalk, stay on Abbot Kinney Boulevard, and it's all good. This is a empty lot where they've kind of set up a bunch of colored things to make some art. This is very Venice, for people to set this up and be like, hey, let's set up some Barbie dolls and let's set up some of these things. All right, here, it's interesting because this is like a parking lot, and so these street vendors set up in this parking lot out here, and Amy says, we want to hear you. I want you to hear me too, Amy, so thank you very much. All right. So there's about 2 more blocks of the Venice Beach Boardwalk before it becomes Santa Monica. I'm going to hit there, and then we'll turn around and walk back that way. And so, yeah, there's another one of these, the pandemic's affected a lot of these businesses down here. You can see a lot of these things are just, none of these vendors are down here. Mike says, do you have to pay for parking there? If so, what does it run? Yeah, it depends whether it's the weekday or a weekend. The parking lot that I parked in front of the Venice Beach Pier, there's only one pier in Venice Beach, was $9 all day today. I won't be here all day. I'll be here for the 90 minutes that I'm recording this video. So, it cost me $9 for that. There's street parking. You can park in the street parking, but I prefer to just pay for the parking in a decent spot. This is the Pacific Jewish Center right on the beach. So we got the Star of David up there. It's just sort of an interesting thing to be on the Venice Beach Boardwalk. This is the Fig Tree Cafe, another great place if you're looking for brunch. You can see the boardwalk's a bit more relaxed as we get down here. There's some, people wearing black vests with yellow neon green around. Curious what they are. Belinda says, how many miles are you walking today? I'm gonna guess this walk in this video is probably about 5 miles round trip, probably 2.5 miles from where I parked to 2.5 miles here. And I probably walked 3 or 4 miles this morning shooting some of the other videos. I'm a walker. Here we go. Here's my walking feet. If you wonder what shoes I wear these shoes called the Hoka One Ones. They are the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. One, spelled like 1-1, but they're like super padded and I can walk a long way. Jason asks if I'm going to walk to the canals. I will not walk to the canals today. I did a video last time I was here on the canals that I haven't released yet, but that'll be out. I'll probably put that out in a week or 2, so you can stay tuned for that. This is store's been here for a long time. Titanic Hat Shop. They've got these cool robots and robot things, but what they sell is they sell hats. So if you're looking for a hat, you can check it out here. This place is called Candle Cafe. Food menu, come as you are, seat yourself. Last time I was here, there were people living on the boardwalk just right here on the left. So a lot of these places were closed. The Venice Beach Bar was closed. These things up here were closed. So these are starting to reopen. People are definitely coming back, which again is really quite good. People find like all the interesting little places to sell stuff, just like right here under the balcony, a place to sell stuff and do some painting. Looks like this person's out here quite a bit because you can see there's a bunch of paint just down there on the floor. I wonder if they live in that house or the people in that house rent out the spot to them. This is the Venice Ale House. They wish you were beer. That's what the sign says on the top. Points Traveler asked if any of these restaurants are requiring vaccinations. I would highly doubt that any of the ones in Venice Beach would be requiring vaccinations because they just want people to be easy to come and go. There are restaurants in LA that are requiring vaccinations, but I think you'll find them to be some of the more higher end ones rather than just these, basic, hop-in bar sort of places. All right, we've got a band right here, and I think he asked if I wanted a tour for my video or something like that, and then I think realized I was filming, so. And Andrew asks if Orange County requires vaccination for restaurants. I would say Orange County is generally more lax than Los Angeles on almost all of the COVID restrictions. In the county of Los Angeles, to go indoors, you have to wear a mask. Anywhere indoors, obviously when you eat, you get to take it off. But in Orange County, you do not have to wear your mask indoors. So, that's just less places are serious about it, because I don't think there's quite as many cases and problems in the OC, as it's called, as in LA. All right, and so now right here, where you see those palm trees, that is where Venice Beach Boardwalk ends and where Santa Monica begins. So we're not done. We're gonna go ahead and turn around, and I need to walk back to my car. So if you're just tuning in and you missed this part of the boardwalk, no problem. We'll get to see it. If you're still watching, well, we got plenty of other things we can chat about and plenty of other things to see. Question about the open alcohol container on the boardwalk. Yeah, it's illegal. Oh, by the way, again, where they've moved off the boardwalk, they've moved right here on the sides, just the side streets out of the way. That's on private property because they just kind of moved the fence. And so just continues to be a problem here. This is another one of the Venice of America original buildings right here. It looks very kind of, this almost looks New Yorkish. Tatiana says not too many people. Yeah, this part of the boardwalk, I would almost refer to this as like the end of the boardwalk, is not very busy here. When we get back to the center, you will see it's quite busy. Yeah, so these, I don't know, what do we call these things? Surreys, pedicabs. Pedicabs are, I don't know if popular is the right word, but the challenges with the pedicabs is they're sort of an unregulated business. So there's no like real rates for the pedicabs. So if you do take a pedicab, make sure you negotiate the rate beforehand, because otherwise you might take a 10-minute ride and they tell you it's, $100 for that ride. There was a question about what about vaccinations in San Diego. San Diego sort of has the same perspective that Orange County does. So currently in San Diego, indoors, you do not have to wear masks if you're vaccinated. And so there's not really places as paranoid in San Diego as they are in Los Angeles. DLVTT says, do you feel the lack of international travelers? For sure. It is... Right? There's no Japanese, no Korean. I mean, the Asian tourists are what you see a lot of. I mean, European tourists too, right? There's nobody here speaking Italian or nobody here speaking Russian. And so that does take a lot away from the boardwalk. And I think that's also why a lot of the street vendors haven't come back, because the people that are here, like walking on the boardwalk, there's probably a lot of people like me that just live around here and are like, oh, we want to take a nice stroll, as opposed to people who have come out and want to bring things back with them. Kathy says no Aussies too. That's right. No Australian accents. Nobody saying, when are we going to put the shrimps on the Barbie? I know Australians don't say that, but I just like that phrase. Here's another, especially because they're mostly prawns in Australia, right? Not even shrimp. This is the Venice Sweet, another one of these classic buildings. It also has this neat mural on the side. DLVTT says no Scandinavians too. For sure, in the case of no Scandinavians, then there's no people here speaking proper English. I like to say that Scandinavians often speak better, clearer, more precise English than people here in America. Here we've got healer, chakras balancing, illness. These things are fun. These little tricycles are pretty fun to rent. I've rented those before, which are neat to ride up and down the boardwalk. It's really hard to fall on one of those, so. Ooh. What's this lady saying?
You can sing. Come sing me a song, honey. Bye. Thank you, guys. Okay, take care of yourselves. I love you. I love you back, and be safe.
You're welcome.
She was asking if people can sing or if they want to sing. I cannot sing. The only thing I sing if I ever go to karaoke, I'll do Weird Al. I'll do Amish Paradise, you know. I'm a man of the land, I'm into discipline. I got a Bible in my hand and a beer on your chin. And when you finish your chores and I finish mine, then tonight we're gonna party like it's 1699. There we go. That's the little bit of lyrics from Weird Al's Amish Paradise. DLVTT says, hey, it's off topic, but when will we see you back in Las Vegas? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't currently have plans to go to Vegas. That doesn't mean I won't be there, but I usually go there for conferences. That's usually like what brings me there. A lot of the conferences have been canceled, and so not sure. Sometimes we go during the holidays, but, you know, having the traveling princess, a 1.5-year-old, you know, we want to go once she knows what she's even looking at when we take her there, too. And Amy says that singing Weird Al definitely sounds like me. All right. XD says, hi, Yellow Productions. Any plans for international trips upcoming? Our next trip planned is to Vancouver in Canada. That's our next international trip coming up here in the fall. Hopefully see some fall leaves changing. We know that other parts of Canada have better leaves changing than Vancouver does, but Air Canada just started a new flight out of Orange County Airport, our home airport, direct to Vancouver, so that makes it super easy. Redeemed some United miles, no connections, 3 hours, so that's nice. Andrew asks, have I ever been to New York City? Number of times, Andrew. Last time was maybe 3 years ago, but yes, I've been to New York City quite a bit. Yeah, but looking at, you know, stores that haven't reopened, right, you can see here on the left, this place is just shut. Tatiana says, do you usually bring your bike and cycle around? Yeah, I have. I like cycling around here. The cycling part, technically, you're supposed to ride your bike on that right side over there. And then this part here in the center is just for pedestrians. Sometimes I bring my bike up here, sometimes I rent a bike. And so, by the way, Tatiana, it's good to see you on the live stream today. I guess this time probably works out a little bit better since it's a different time than I usually do it. Andrew asks if all the stores are open in Beverly Hills. I've not been to Beverly Hills lately, but I would actually think most stores are. Here, let's take a look at this. Here we got this bike coming. Couple people riding their skateboards behind the back of it. All right, that's good. So there we go. That's like, to me, like if we think about California and the good part of Venice, that's what the good California beach life is about right there. All right. We can get some henna tattoos here on the right. Road and Land says, am I walking? Seems fast. I am walking. I am a fast walker. So, yes, I am walking. Here, you can see. Those are my feet right there. And you can see my feet are walking. Being 6 feet tall, I've got some pretty long steps. I often walk faster than a lot of the people I'm walking with. When OC Girl and I are together, because she's about a foot shorter than I am, I always have to remind myself to walk a little slower because her legs aren't quite as long. Tree says no 1080 or 4K today. Tree, this is what the YouTube app does. So whatever you're seeing is whatever it does. There's no quality settings in it. Question of what time is it there right now? Right now it is 2:30 p.m. on a Friday. I'll be wrapping this up in the next half hour because I want to get out of here by 3 so I can at least try to not be in the worst of the traffic. LA traffic definitely coming back again. Schools have started up again in person in all of Southern California, so that's definitely brought more traffic on the roads. More henna tattoos. Henna tattoos, very popular, but you know, that's definitely another one of those like visitor sort of things. Like when you're visiting, I should get a tattoo, you know, but it's funny. Often we say the visitors to Southern California beaches like booze and tattoos. Tree says non-Prism. Yeah, I'm streaming out of the YouTube app and not Prism because As far as I understand it, Prism doesn't support the two-factor authentication for streaming. Like, you just have to use a username and password. And as someone who has a computer science background and is quite paranoid about not having people want to steal my account, I really like the two-factor authentication on. So until Prism enables that, then this is going to be the streaming quality. Valerian the Mac says no flip-flops for the hot Cali weather. Not for walking 5 miles. And actually, I'm not much of a flip-flop wearer. I do like sandals, but I like sandals that are more like shoes and ones that have like a back and just more like shoe-like sandals. Amy asked if the Santa Monica beach is better. It depends what you mean by better, and it depends what you mean by the beach. I mean, as beaches go, this beach is sandy and the water is wet. I would say, though, that Santa Monica as a neighborhood is certainly more upscale, higher end. You know, there was a question earlier, would I pick Venice or Santa Monica? I would definitely pick Santa Monica. I was there earlier. That's where I had lunch. But for some reason, I am drawn to Venice like a moth, like a flame, just because it's so different here, right? It's like, this is a place that is super unique in the world, unlike the rest of LA, right? There's no other place that's quite like this. And so I like to come back. I probably come to Venice twice a year just to see what's going on, like all the time, generally. And so I figured since I was doing that, I would just see how this live stream worked today and take you all along on this exploration with me. And so the question was, is Venice always this quiet? This is definitely a lot busier than it was 6 months ago, but no, this is unusually not busy since there's no international tourists. This is what we've got left. Ernst says, how long does it take to walk the boardwalk? So in this video, I walked from the Venice Beach Pier to the Santa Monica side, which is roughly what people consider the boardwalk. I did that in 50 minutes. I'm a fast walker. That's walking, that's not stopping, and now I'm turning back. So I'm gonna probably do that full round trip in 90 minutes. If you're planning to do the same thing, 3 hours, 4 hours, that's what I would recommend for your Venice Beach boardwalk stay. I think after 3 or 4 hours, assuming you have lunch as a part of it or something, you'll be bored and ready to go someplace else. Ready to go to Disneyland and ride a roller coaster. So questions about crowds, as we can see here in kind of the center of the boardwalk now, it's much busier here. The crowds, I think, stay around here because this is where the most vendors are. It's just kind of like if you put Venice Beach in Google Maps, this is where you go to. So if you come these sort of like 5 or 6 blocks in the middle, I would say this feels pretty normal, though going further north or south definitely does not feel normal because there's just less stuff there. Here's a piano we passed by earlier. He hasn't come back, but I did see the guy with the piano walking by. Skate park on the right that we're not gonna check out. Yeah, because it's a Friday and there's less of a police presence here. They're not really enforcing the no skating or biking on the boardwalk today. But if you come on a holiday weekend, there's a lot more enforcement of that because there's way more people. It's actually, on typical weekends here, it's almost hard to just walk through the boardwalk. There's so many people. There have been instances of people driving on the boardwalk, crazy people, so they've put these little things in place to make it hard for cars to just drive through. Ernst says, my wife asked if there are toilets around the boardwalk. There are, but they're not very nice at all. I wouldn't use them. So I use the restroom in Santa Monica, where I was for lunch earlier, and I'll probably use the restroom as I'm driving back home to Orange County someplace, and avoid the boardwalk restrooms. As public restrooms go in California public places, these are probably some of the worst. Question, where are the nightclubs? I don't know that Venice really has like big nightclubs. She's having a good time over there. That's where you can hear that coming from. Maybe she's quiet now, but if you heard some electric guitar, that's where it's coming from. Kathy says, how far is it back to your home? Far. 50 miles, which Friday traffic may take 2 hours to drive. So that is where. Yeah, Geoman says the nightclubs are in downtown and the Sunset Strip. Thank you for that, Geoman. I think if you're looking for nightclubs in Southern California, the best place for nightclubs is actually down in San Diego. San Diego's downtown Gaslamp District has a ton of nightclubs on Fifth Avenue, all in one spot. So if you like clubbing, downtown San Diego, Gaslamp District, Fifth Avenue, that's the place to be. We see some people playing basketball here now. And temperature's starting to get a little bit warmer. I would guess it's now about 78 degrees here at 2:37 on Friday, September 10th. Bonnie asked if the tar pits are worth visiting. I like the tar pits. I think they're worth visiting. The tar pits are also next to LACMA, the LA Contemporary or LA County Museum of Art, which is cool to visit as well. So I would do LACMA and the tar pits at the same time. Oh, we got some people painting a new sign up on this building. There we go. You can see they've drawn lines up there for what they're going to do, and they're painting it in. He's got a picture in his hand about what that's supposed to look like, so that's pretty cool. If you've not seen my video on the tar pits, I do have one, so feel free to search for Yellow Productions tar pits, and you can take a look at what that looks like. Points Traveler said, what's the temperature like here in the winter? My last walking tour here was in the winter. I was wearing long sleeves and kind of like a fleece. Maybe like 60 degrees for a daytime high. Nighttime lows might get into the high 40s. Oh, what do we got here? We got like 3-card Monty, something like that. Yeah, which bottle cap do you think it's under? Does anybody want me to join in on the 3-card Monty? You know, it's often funny in my Las Vegas videos. I talk about, it's one of the scams in Las Vegas, or, people doing 3-card Monty on the side of the strip. And people go and say, Chris, do people really do that? I mean, I've never seen it before. Absolutely, they do. And they do it here, too. There were probably the 10 people standing around it were all just in on it, too, Here are the pickleball courts. Valerian says, where are the surfers? When I end this walk, I'll end at the Venice Beach Pier, and we can check out some of the surfers from there. But the surfers would be right in the water at the beach that you see maybe 100 feet just to my right on the side of these things. Tatiana says, have you ever bought something from the people who made the art, some creative things? We absolutely have, Tatiana. We've got a little wooden surfboard at home that says Venice Beach on it. We keep in one of our bathrooms. One of our bathrooms in our house has all this art that we've collected from our travels and hang on the wall in it. So there's another guy, I've not seen him today, but there's a guy that does these like incredible paintings here on the boardwalk, and we've bought one of his paintings too. Yeah, he reminds me a little bit of like Bob Ross, the guy on KPBS. Fred says, go to the bathrooms just to humor us. I don't know about that one. That's we'll see. I think at the parking lot where my car is parked, I think there's a bathroom, and it's not the worst of them, but I can at least walk around it. I won't walk in it because I don't want to touch the door. Yeah, Brian says that's illegal. Well, no, I wouldn't go in, but this is not where I parked, but this little building right here, that's one of the little bathroom buildings. They're just, I don't know when they get cleaned or ever get cleaned. XDB says, any plans for future YouTube collaborations like with German in Venice? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should reach out to him, see if he wants to do a live stream interview. That would be fun. I've got 2 feelers out right now to a couple of Vegas channels. So we will see. You know, they obviously have to want to collaborate with me too. But, you know, having a 1.5-year-old in the house makes it harder to plan times and those sorts of things. So for me, it's easier to do the live stream interview collabs right now. This is one of my favorite murals on a building in Venice Beach. This one is just super cool. There's I think they have a description of it over here. This is called Luminaries of Pantheism right here, that says, brought to you by the Paradise Project. And pantheism, a doctrine that equates God with the forces and laws of the universe. I have no comment on pantheism itself, other than I think that's a really cool mural. Amy says, only toilet humor on Yellow Productions. That's right. YU says, what's your favorite place in LA? I have a lot of favorite places in LA. I like Little Tokyo. I did a walking tour there a little while ago, a few weeks ago. I like the Santa Monica Pier area. That's where I was at just earlier this morning. I like the area around UCLA, known as Westwood. That's pretty fun. I also like in like what they call the South Bay area, which is like Gardena and Torrance. There's a lot of Japanese stuff there. I like Koreatown. I'm planning to do a Koreatown walking tour here, maybe in a couple weeks. So I got a lot of places that I like. There's a lot of places to see in Los Angeles, really. And, you know, obviously as a travel channel that has a hard time traveling internationally, I figure I'd bring you some of the stuff that's just in my backyard. Tree says, we have a South Bay here too. Very cool, Tree. Points Rally says, what's the property value like on these homes you're walking by? Somewhere probably between $5 and $15 million if you wish to purchase one of these homes, Tree. Comment that I had a cool hairstyle. What's my hairstyle look like? I don't know. Just, I kind of have like naturally curly hair, and I cut it with a Flowbee, the vacuum hair cutting device. You know, I brush it, shampoo it. Hey, this guy knows me right here. Yeah, so we're doing a live stream right now. This is a walk on Venice Beach. Yeah. What's your name? Sai. Nice to meet you, Sai.
Man, you do awesome stuff, man. I saw your stuff from all over Southern California, Oceanside to San Diego. I actually also one that you did on Venice before. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Where are you from? Here?
Originally I'm from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But, I live in Southern California.
Yeah, right on. That's cool. What part of OC? Very cool. I'm in Irvine, not that far. Everybody who spots me here, I always give them a Yellow Productions card. So there you go. Cool.
Dude, yeah, you rock, man. Keep it up.
All right. Nice to see you. If you want to find yourself, it's on the Venice Beach live stream today at 1 hour and 12 minutes in. So there you go. All right. I'll see you later. Thanks for saying hey. It's always fun to see some watchers in real life. So it was nice to meet you if you see this video later. Amy says, hi, Sty. DLVTT says about Vegas live streamers, Alan from Las Vegas and beyond. You should definitely check him out. All right, I will put him on my list of people to reach out to. Jay says you should have gotten together with Action Kid when he was in LA. Yeah, I saw him here, and I think I noticed he was here. Maybe recommended it when he was on his way out, so didn't quite work out. But yes, he does some neat live exploration streams as well. Tree says giving out cards like a beast. I like to give something so that people can be like, hey, I saw this guy. And also, a lot of people when they see the setup, they'll be like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? Or are you like a YouTuber or something? Of course, I'll be like, well, it's funny. I actually am a YouTuber. No. Yeah, here, check it out. And then they look at the channel. They're like, you are a YouTuber. Yeah, it's amazing. Thanks for Thanks for mocking me at first. It's okay. I don't mind at all. Tatiana says people seem nice there in Venice. California seems to be friendly. I would say people in California are pretty friendly. It's one of the things I like living about in California. And Tatiana says, not many cafes, or did I miss the part of this live? Yeah, Tatiana, if you, I don't know, the restaurants and cafes were in the middle of this video, and this is the residential part as I walk back to where I parked at the foot of the Venice Beach Pier, that we're going to go check out the surfers there before we wrap up. Sherry says Beverly Hills stores are open. Thank you, Sherry, for that. Chris says, hey, Yellow Productions, first time watching live. Venice Beach is looking gorgeous. It is gorgeous today. This house has a interesting little Buddha here in front of it. Very Venice, kind of a spiritual place. This house has a surfboard in front of it, as you would in a house right on the beach. What would a house on the beach be like if you didn't have a surfboard in front of it? You'd be missing out. This house has heat lamps in the balconies so that when they're on the balcony, they can stay warm. That's when you know you have a lot of money, when you build heat lamps into your house. Amy says the best home seen so far. Yeah, a lot of these right here, pretty neat. Like, I like this one right here. It's kind of a, I don't know, is that like maybe a Cape Cod style or something? You know, something about, here, let me come up on the sand dune so you can actually see these a little bit better. A lot of the houses here, they just try to maximize the amount of square footage, but I like the houses that kind of have this like classic look to them, right? This house rather than the purple one or something like that, you know. Most ugly house, probably this blue thing right here. Chris says, I love those houses that cost a fortune, 5 to 15 million if you've got some extra in your pocket. The best thing to do is definitely to ride a tandem bicycle, though. If you've got, you know, a significant other or a friend, get a tandem bike, ride those around. None of these places rent tandem bikes. OC Girl and I like to do that when we come down to the beach. A little bit harder with the 1.5-year-old. We need to figure out how to get the tandem bike with the like baby seat in the back. Jay says, are these mostly rental vacation homes? These are like so expensive that they're probably, most of these right on the boardwalk are not rentals or vacation homes. People live here. A lot of famous Hollywood people live in these things, though like maybe a block in might be more vacation homes or rentals. Geoman says, have you thought about doing a little subscriber SoCal meetup? I've thought about it. I've never done it. And I thought it would be cool to do it at like maybe like downtown Disney or something like that. Kind of never got around to it. But yes, post-pandemic, I will put that back on the front burner of things to do when we're all not zombies again, right? I guess we're zombies now. Do you feel that way? Like if a stranger comes up to talk to you, do any of you feel like that's weird? You know, or is it normal? I don't know, different things, right? But you know, there still, I think, is a thing about this, like, well, how close can we be? You know, inside, outside, etc., etc. It's probably not the pontification that you came to the Venice Beach live stream for, but that's why I like to just do a bunch of stuff outside, because outside's healthy, fresh air, good walk. This house has a really neat fountain on it. Take a look at this here. This fountain has like these different gears that move on it as the water comes down. That's pretty cool. Henry says, I miss LA. Is it reasonable to vacation in LA this fall? I think so. You know, things are open. Again, I'm not going to say it's back to normal, but I think there's enough stuff to do in LA to make for a reasonable vacation. Just be prepared that, you know, not everything is open. Some places are still takeout. Our favorite Thai restaurant near LAX called Ayara, this, you know, a year and a half into this, or however long we are, is still takeout only. You know, just go with the flow. Doris says, what's a quiet zone? This, because it's the residential neighborhood, is a quiet zone, which means no amplified music and no vendors in this section as the quiet zone so that people can sleep at night or in the morning. All right, now this is the Venice Beach Pier and parking lot. This is where I parked today for $9. $9 all day parking. And we'll head out on the pier and check out some of the surfers. As we do that, I'll just look over here on the left, point out this kind of blue building's sort of neat with its blue mural on it. We got some bikers that, I don't know if they kicked their bike over or it fell down. So there's again, a question like, what does the beach look like? So this is the beach here in Venice Beach. Carl says, is that the pier from the Satan Pier from the movie Falling Down? I haven't seen that movie, but I'll show you something that makes the pier unique when I get down on it, that I guess then you'll be able to know. Ernst says the parking is cheap because it's a weekday and it's not the summer. The prices go up and down depending upon busy days or not. This is the Venice Beach Pier. Venice Beach only has one pier. This is the Venice Beach Pier at the foot of Washington Boulevard. DLVTT asks, can you jump in the water from this pier? You cannot jump in the water from any pier in Southern California. No diving off of Southern California piers. Ernst asks if I use the Spot Angels app. I have. I've also used Parking Panda. There's a few of these different apps. So what makes this pier unique, and if it's in movies or things like that, this pier has these little like cutout sections. There's a cutout on the left, there's a cutout on the right, and so if you saw it in a movie and it had these little cutouts that you could stand on, then that's this pier, because this is the only pier that is concrete and has these little cutouts. Geoman says, I've gone fishing off this pier. Very cool, Geoman. Did you catch anything? So looking south, we're looking at Marina del Rey here, and then the hill in the back, that's Manhattan Beach. You can't see it because the haze today, but then you get Rancho Palos Verdes. Looking to the north, this is the direction that I just came walking from, the big hill that you see in the back over this way. This is Malibu, so this is where people like Pamela Anderson live and all that. Then Santa Monica is roughly where these kind of like high rises are over here. All right, we're gonna get out to the surf zone. There's a couple surfers still out there. It is getting windier now, so the surf is a bit blown out. So not a super great surf day today. Maybe you can make off in the distance. I don't know, there's someone parasailing out there. Not sure if that's big enough to actually see on the video. Vegas says it sounds like a strong wind. It is. It's probably a 20, 25 mile per hour wind out here on the pier. Again, that's the reason why I use these headsets for these videos, because if I didn't, you wouldn't be able to hear me at all. Yeah, so here we go. We see some surfers that are out here. There's 2 surfers here. Waves are just kind of choppy. Let's see if we get them to catch a wave. Do they know they're on TV right now? We've also got some street performers that are down here playing some music. And by the way, if the 98 of you that are watching have not hit the thumbs up button, like button, I'd really appreciate if you would. There's 97 likes, which is really great. I know some people have come and gone already, but if you are new to the stream and you're enjoying it, I'd really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button. Doesn't look like there's a swell right now, so who knows how long we'll be waiting here for them. There appear to be no surfers off in this direction either. Here, we can take a look at these entertainers out here on the pier while we're waiting for a swell. Those guys said, "What up, YouTube?" Yeah, well, we can karaoke here now. All right, very good.
The 21st night of September, we're cleaning the minds of pretenders, chasing those clouds away.
All right, well, everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching the video today. Thanks for the 94 of you that are tuned in right now. And if people watch the archive and you've made it here to this point, I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. Maybe I'll do some more live walking tours like this. Quality is not always great, but this one was. I see a surfer trying to go for the wave. Oh, he was trying to go for a wave. It quite didn't work. But if you are new to Yellow Productions, hey, definitely consider subscribing because I've got lots of great walking tours, doing lots of them around Southern California. Soon I will have some videos coming out in the next couple of weeks on the Venice canals and the Santa Monica tours that I recorded today. So if you subscribe, you will get those in your inbox before anybody else. All right, well, as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'll see you all in the next video.